Okay, let me try. Since there's a drought and cattle are dying and getting really, really skinny, eating whatever they can, and most importantly, the cattle don't have access to a lot of water. Now it has started raining in some parts of the country. It's raining, and for farmers and plot owners, I think it's time to set off. This is an idea I could try. I don't know whether this quick solution is viable or not, but here goes. So you look at your property and you find the steeps. Right, the steeps mean the sort of high ground, and then you look at, because at most of the steeps at the high ground is where water sort of settles, it stagnates in that place, almost like small puddles. So what you do is you recognize all of these small puddles and so forth, and you interconnect them simply by digging holes. You simply dig holes to connect the what do you call, I can call it the downpour, because of the slope it always goes down. So instead of allowing water to go down, you dig all these placed puddles and you interconnect them, and then you dig down. And when you dig down, you can do a lot of things. You can add a small pump. There are pumps, pretty cheap, that pump water, and you can use this to pump water into a ditch, or let's just call it a very big hole, almost like a man-made hole. Or you could just, do it the hard way, connect them and just dig all the way until you dig the really big one where the water will eventually be collected. The pumps you can use to collect water in those water collection drums, those really big ones, because you don't want it to evaporate. It's hot, it is very hot, and it will evaporate very fast. So that means even if you're getting small dribbles of rain, if you know where the water falls, where does it form puddles, and you interconnect them, and it's simple to make water go where you want it. And you don't have to use cement and stuff. This is temporary solutions, especially for those people who don't have boreholes, who rely on natural sort of lakes and water points. So you basically just have to create your own water points. And if you don't have the drums to collect the water, there are various other means that you can use, but it will be sufficient enough that even small drizzles of rain will end up bringing in a lot of water, because you're directing where it's going. Now, the most difficult part, and the part I can tell, there are so many different environments for people, is how deep should the hole be, sort of like the man-made hole be, how big should it be, and what you can also do is, every time I travel to Windhoek or Chuarango, basically just Namibia, you notice where the farms are fenced off, on the side there's grass on every road. except maybe when you start reaching the north in the Kavango region, because of the sand. There isn't grass on the side of the roads. They are mostly trees. Um, you know, collected and collected by means of dig really deep, and put it in your backyard or whatever. Some you can use to feed the animals, and some you can just disperse, because what will happen is when the rain falls and the trees and stuff, it actually starts to multiply. The thing about the grass that cows eat is that it's almost like weed. It adapts very quickly. So you have, this is a temporary solution. The main one is not relying on nature to wake up, right? Until you can start with what you need to start with, feeding cattle yourself during a drought season. It will preserve the value of the cattle that you have, and in fact you can end up buying more cattle that you will take care of. And as measuring the seasons change, and as the plans for water management start to come out with the drafts in more detail, this will eventually lead to the drought scares and all of that stuff being over. A lot of people are thinking about dams. No one thinks about man-made lakes, which are much cheaper than lakes. If you want proof, look at the mines. Look at how far they dig, and we can utilize what we have in order to be in charge. Cattle got domesticated by people, goats got domesticated, sheep got domesticated. Weather cannot be domesticated, obviously, but you can actually, even if the forecast isn't wrong, because it's really hard to make it was really hard to make a forecast, but nowadays it's a bit more easier to make a forecast, except for rain, and this is due to the way that clouds move, right? So you do that, get the grass, start feeding the animals, because later on they will start to feed you. That's what I've been thinking, and I've been wondering why most people don't do this, and especially why people don't get grass seeds, because all you have to do is just throw it around. When it gets water, it will grow. So barren land, before it's completely decified, should be healed. There has to be human intervention, right, in most of these cases, because things are predictable, but rarely do people respect nature. They rarely respect nature, and that leads to trouble. But the whole global warming causing seasons to change and so forth. I said this, but it's not dramatic because of global change. In a big second front is that the soil is, let's say, it's poor now. No, so you need to enrich the soil after every harvest, and that's what doesn't get done. And what happens is you end up finishing the nutrients within the ground, and that eventually starts to lead to barren land. So encouraging people to fertilize is a really big step. But I think farmers know this stuff already. And, I'm not expert at farming, and I'm not good at that. But I guess this is just my sort of short contribution to this topic and the whole drought thing. And as for the people who are sort of struggling to find what can I say, a solution to the water problem within urban areas. I don't know why a lot of people haven't really contributed the rise of the population within the cities, and just plain old decide to blame it on drought. There are more people using water, there are more people drinking water, and the capacity of the dam was only made to maintain at the time a certain amount of people. But now with the big move to the capital city, you guys need to start looking at this a bit more, do more research and find out, because yeah, sure, there's kind of drought, but the dams are not really low or heavy. If you notice this, if they were actually records kept, the rise in the population versus the amount of water in the dam, they would have sort of noticed this pattern, right? So yeah, I need rest for like a week, maybe. It's a joke, I don't rest. So salute. Oh yeah, and don't forget, we are going to tackle education. Not only education, but careers and all of that. And it won't be like career advice and motivational speaking and all of that other stuff, which is empty. But practical things that we people can use. And I'm also getting involved. I'm going to get involved in a lot of my own things. So it's not like I'll be saying something just for the sake of saying it. I want to